All right, what's going on, everybody? Excited to hop back on. I haven't done content in probably a month or so, mainly because I wanted to redo it. Obviously for the last year, over a year, been putting content out, putting just all different types of stuff where I was documenting a lot of what I was doing, and that's great and all, and it's helped. It's helped grow the brand, helped grow the business, gotten business from it. It works, and over the last, I don't know. Um, Last 6 months or so, I've been working on really customizing a solution for small businesses, local based businesses, typically businesses under 50 or maybe even under 25 employees, mostly that can't afford, marketing teams and all this stuff. Um, and even like solopreneurs and professionals and experts. Look, at the end of the day, you gotta have everything working. You got to have all your digital resources in line, but you're not a tech person, you're not a marketing person. Um, and it can't just be a website that you throw up and people are just going to show up. It can't be a Facebook ad that you just put out there and people are going to start buying. It has nothing, like, you got to have everything in line. But one, you need help doing that, which is part of where a lot of the bottleneck comes. Nothing's worse than getting excited, or you want to promote something, or you invest in some new CRM or solution, then you realize you got to set it all up. And then, like, I'm not a tech person, I run an agency, I have to have people do that stuff for me, and it's hard, and you don't even have time. Even if you do, you don't have the time to do it. So how can I marry that with leveraging the latest and greatest in tools and technology? And that's what I have really revamped our Web Connect IQ, which you can go to webconnectiq.com, check it out. But it's basically a software that leverages all the latest and greatest, goes out, build your brand, markets, sells, converts, books, manages messages and customer inquiries and all that for you. We can even input live agents 24/7 that are answering, communicating, so you can get a lot more of your time back. You don't have to worry about running into bottlenecks because you got 24/7 access. That's right, 24/7 chat access. If we need to hop on a Zoom, the team will hop on a Zoom with you. And you've also got access to the agency as you need it. But the most important thing that I've seen, and this is what I've been doing in the last 30 days, is really wanting to document. I want to document. I want to take businesses and actually put it in motion so that then I can show you that this stuff is working, instead of just telling you like everybody else does and telling you, oh, well, you know what, we can do all this stuff for you. And, because quite honestly, people have been burnt so bad, and I know, and I'm coming fresh off being burnt really bad. It sucks. Like, it's just, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy, the stuff that's out there, and you hear and you get excited and you're like, yeah, man, this is really going to change things. And then it's just a complete letdown, or you're trying to do it on your own. You don't know how to get past that next point, whenever it may be coming, running an ad online or doing something with social media or building out a quote unquote funnel or getting your website set up or any of that. And the thing is, you don't need to pay this big retainer for an agent. It just doesn't make sense at the level that you're at, but you still need all these resources and you still need this assistance. And that's what we've created. So anyway, that's enough with that. But my main goal is to start documenting and actually testing, and then being able to bring you case studies of the stuff that I know. I'm telling you, if you have a business and you're stagnant, or you need growth, or you're just starting off, especially if you're a local based business and you're not contacting me or my team, then you are making a huge mistake, and you're not going to get the same results 99.9% of the time. I'm that confident that we can help you and bring that in. Everybody's a little bit different, but most of the time you need to get set up correctly. That's the first thing. Most people aren't even set up correctly to either be found online, to be in the right position, to gain, your SEO, or build and grow your rankings online. You don't have the foundational pieces just with Google My Business or your local listings. Then if you are creating content, you're not creating the right content consistently enough, and then running campaigns or ad campaigns that are getting in front of the right people to just gain their awareness. But then you may be trying to just go in way too hard to do that, and nobody wants to take that next step. And then if they do take that next step, you have nothing set up correctly to help convert that, or help walk them through the journey, or build a relationship, or build credibility, or build authority. And it's the simple little things that first just need to be set up correctly, which can be done over a 30, 60-day period, sometimes 90-day period, but most of the time, just 30-day period. Let's get you set up correctly. Let's get all the automations. Let's be able to set you up so that you can communicate in the right way that's going to allow you to get back your time. You're not going to have to hire for that because there's technology that takes care of that. And I know how some people feel about technology taking over whenever it comes to communications and things of that nature, but it's not about what we think. It's about what our customers and our clients expect. If you're not able to respond back in 5 minutes, they're gone. They don't care what it is. Yes, you need to have it so it's not just like on repeat, getting back to them and not helping them answer their questions, but that's easy. That's a simple solution. And you need to be able to be alerted whenever you need to get on the phone. But at the end of the day, it books, it converts, it qualifies. And you can even have 24/7 live agents doing that for pennies. And there's ways that we will do this for you depending upon what you need. And a lot of times being more efficient, especially in the economy today. But you've got to have all the things put in place, and then you got to have the right strategy, and then you've got to execute on that. So that's what we're working on doing. Like, I want to just do case studies and document this stuff so you see it's working, and it's proof in the pudding. Like, we're building businesses and we're helping them, and for not much money each month, and they get access to us, and they have everything working and little stuff that they can do on their own, but they may get stuck. They're not going to have to worry about getting stuck. You're not going to have to get worried about being stuck. You or your team, because we got 24/7 access. We got a team that will walk right there through it, even at 2 a.m. in the morning. So anyway, I'm done with that rap or riff, whatever it's called. I don't know. I'm kind of just let's just get into it. I'll get way off base here to get in. Obviously, I'm just feeling kind of passionate right now, and I'm excited, but I'm also just kind of frustrated that there's so much noise out there that prevents people from actually getting good help from people and businesses and partners like us. Like, I'm sick and tired of seeing it. I've seen it personally. Like I said, just getting off. I never asked for refunds. I just asked for a big refund, thousands of dollars that I invested, and it could not have been more of a disappointment. But the most important thing is not that it didn't work, which it didn't. It was terrible, awful experience. And this was a brand that's very high up in what we do and what I was looking for. And I've known them for a long time, which is probably the most disappointing thing. But it was that it wasted 45 days just dragging on. And when you're trying to launch something, you're trying to get stuff going, there's nothing worse than wasting time. And so I had to go back. I had to reevaluate. I had to go in, rehire, and find new partners and all this other stuff. Anyway, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're going to have access to a kick-ass solution that's going to allow you to run ads on Facebook with a few clicks of the button that our team helps you set up. We'll set up all your flows, your funnels, whatever. Like, you're not going to have to worry about that stuff. It's got to be set up correctly, because I know if it's set up correctly and then we put you in a position where you're seeing those results come in, you're going to stay a long time. And that's what I want. But most importantly, I want you to have higher profits, be able to go home and sleep at night, not have to put extra hours in, not have to worry about hiring extra manpower, and knowing that your business is still running around the clock. And you're still driving sales, you're still driving awareness, and you're continuing to grow without having to spend thousands of dollars on some agency retainer that you don't need constantly. You need it from time to time when you need it, but you don't need the agency hovering over you and just charging you for stuff that you don't need. Sorry, I've gotten off on a tangent. So one thing that over the last 30 days or so, had a business, local-based business, and it doesn't matter. Like, whenever I say local-based business, obviously it's typically someone who does business within a certain mile radius around their place of business or within a specific market. But even if you're starting off and you're going nationally and you look at yourself as a national brand, this stuff can still work. But a lot of times your national brand gets built locally first. And that's where all the power is. That's how you can expand it, because you get in locally and then you start expanding because people start seeing what you're doing on a local level. Then they realize you can do it at their level, and so on and so forth. So this one was more local based business. They came in, they purchased a sports development and training facility, big operation. And this place has been, the actual business has been around for, I think, longer than I've even been in Atlanta, but it just kept continued to be failure after failure after failure. So they have come in and purchased, and their vision is completely different, which was phenomenal. So they did pretty much a complete renovation of the place, just made it, put new flooring in, lighting. I mean, you talk about it. They put new nets, everything that you would need to do for a sports development and training facility. But people have always seen that place and just said, "There's no, it continues to change names and all this." So we knew we had to overcome that. But the big thing is we had a very firm and hard, short deadline on getting an open house. And this is one thing that I can't stress enough. Doesn't matter your business. But especially if you're a local based business, if you're feeling stuck, you're not sure what to do, sometimes you just got to create an event. Sometimes you got to create a relaunch and get people re-excited about what you're doing, including yourself. While this wasn't because they purchased, it was a relaunch for that location. It was brand new to them, but they were starting off. They didn't have any data from past customers or clients other than the people that walked in the door thinking that the old place was still there. And so they were starting fresh, and we knew that. And so what we did was we came up with a plan. Okay, how are we really going to relaunch this in the right way? Really tried to determine whenever the facility was going to be ready, have all the new equipment, have everything new in, and be ready for the launch. But our goal was in 3.5 to 4 week turnaround time, we were going to have their website built out. And here's one big important thing. Websites don't need to be some big customized thing. Websites can just be, they just need to be able to convert and help people easily get the information that they want and then get in contact with somebody if they want. And people overthink that. And you need to have it integrated with your CRM system that then is already set up to convert, to follow up, to leverage technology, to make sure that your speed to lead is there, to make sure that it's able to respond and book and qualify, make the buyer's journey or the customer experience very streamlined and easy, right? So that's one thing. And that's one thing that we did is we took it, we built out the website, we built out, we got it to where it was booking. We've created funnels and flows and forms that were able to help people book easily. And obviously we had to start driving and getting the word out there. So we went in, we started creating content, just basic content, with a countdown to the open house. And so we started doing that organically, really cool reels, really cool video and edits and all that, just highlighting, getting people just snippets and getting them hopefully excited about that. But most importantly, we created some simple ad campaigns in Facebook and Instagram. We ended up spending, we did it over a 12-day period because that's all we had time for. But our main goal was to have a 4 Sorry, something happened with my camera there. So my HD camera, so I had to get back on the webcam here. But so we wanted to have a 4-hour opening day or open house, and we wanted to have it where we had tours set up. So our main goal was to get people to come out, tour the facility, see it for themselves, see the difference, see what's happening in there, get them to get a taste of it, to feel it, and because that's the only way people are going to understand the value of what you got. And for anybody who thinks, well, I should be able to charge this, or I should be able to charge that, people should be pay it because it's a discount. Most people don't understand that it's a discount. No, most people don't understand that it's a deal because they haven't experienced what it is you have to offer. So if you're struggling to get people in, or you're struggling to get people to take advantage of your offers or certain things that you're doing, it's because people don't know the value of it. You just got to get people in the door. And I know that can be frustrating and you may have to risk a little bit, but I promise you, never once has it not worked where we have held something that gets people in to experience something, and then it doesn't turn into sales when you have it set up the right way and you have it thought out, which is what I'm going through right now. So, take notes, reach out if you have any questions, but we wanted to do it where, okay, we were going to set everything up over the next 3 to 4 weeks. And it was all about first things first, which is opening day, or the open house, to get people in. Our goal was to get 40 tour spots booked up. And that's what we started running ad campaigns for. Built out a simple funnel with automations and confirmations, and made it very streamlined and very easy for the consumers to input their information, book their tour, and then we had automations of flows reminding them to help with no-show rates, right? And so we everything that we did was about talking about that open house. And that's one thing that a lot of people will get off, is they want to show all these different things, but all we want people to do is to take that next step. And this was a big first step. And I'll tell you another reason why it was a big first step here in a second, but we wanted to get them in. And so we obviously, we did some simple stuff. We didn't spend a ton of money. Obviously they had a lot of sweat equity just getting the place ready, but that's just, they were going to do that anyway. So I don't really count that. That's what they just had to do anyway to get the facility ready, which they did a phenomenal job. It's amazing what they did in such a short amount of time. So much respect for these owners and their team and their family. And oh my gosh, it was amazing. But they, we paid for a DJ because there's a lot of youth development and all that goes on here that we wanted to appeal to. So parents and families and things of that nature wanted to get the DJ in. We got some hot dogs with some Cracker Jacks and boxes or popcorn and all that stuff. Very simple. So a few $100 there, $150 probably just miscellaneous stuff that we did outside of that. And then all in all, we only ended up spending it was $241 over the 12 days in ad spend, which is phenomenal. I mean, we're trying to book up and fill up an event of a brand new facility, plus, a facility that people have deemed to just kind of not be good. They've just seen it been turnover. People have just been, and we heard this story of people that showed up, they just don't have a lot of high expectations. But we were wanting to make sure that all the content, the organic content that we're putting out across social media, was helping show the progress and getting them excited about the stuff that was coming and the new equipment and all this and all this cool stuff. But then obviously had the ad campaigns and really talked about in those ad campaigns what was happening. And this was kind of a one chance to come in. And we were also talking about becoming a founding member because it was kind of a relaunch. And we want people to feel like they're part of the family there and part of that community. And so what better way than to relaunch and have like a loyalty or a founding member program or something that also provides them a bit of an incentive to go ahead and join as members, which is ultimately what we want to do and what we wanted to convert on that day. And so we ended up 241. We ended up booking 41 tours. So one over our goal, which is phenomenal. Now, whenever you're doing that, you got to expect a no-show rate, obviously. And I would say probably average on something like this, 50 or 40%, maybe 30, 40%. I don't know. So you got to expect that a lot of people aren't going to show up, but you can limit that by having the right automations, the right follow-ups, reminding them. Like what we did was as soon as they signed up, they got an email, they got a text confirming their tour. We would have them then in a bit of a drip for emails, and then a day out, did a 24-hour reminder, and then a 1-hour reminder, text and email. And what had happened was that while you expect no shows. And so we created a sales process around. So we wanted, our main goal was to have 30-minute intervals where we had 5 different stations. And so that would 5 different families, our people touring, going in, they were trying out each piece of equipment and each cage and everything that we had, event that we had going on. Light just fell. So I'm going to keep rolling, though. I'm going to keep rolling. Scared the crap out of me. But so in 5-minute intervals, and whenever we did the 5-minute intervals, they would come in, then they would leave. And on the way out, we would have them, stop at the desk. And that's where we would go into more detail about the memberships, talk about how this was a one-time deal for founding members and opening house incentives, which provided them a pretty aggressive discount as well. Well, what happened was that turns out that we did not have the time, because we actually ended up doing 53 total tours, which completely, while a good problem, completely threw off because we were undermanned. It was, people running around. There's a lot more. It was crowded more than we expected, and it just wasn't a good environment to try and sell a membership in there. It just wasn't. We weren't going to be able to keep up. And if we did, it was going to be choppy and not a good experience, which we didn't want to risk, potentially having somebody go with a bad taste in their mouth. So what we did was right then, I saw it after the first one. The first one, we were booked solid, and realized right then that we weren't going to be able to keep up with that process. So immediately said, we're switching up the sales process. We're telling everybody they've got 24 hours, and we're going to send them a link after the event. We're going to send them a link. And in that link, they can go and sign up for the founding day and get the incentives and all of that. And then we'll have a automation drip reminder throughout the 24 hours that was, hey, deadline's coming. This is your last chance to get in. These aren't going to be around. They literally end tonight at 10 or 9. I can't remember what we did. So obviously we weren't able to get the face-to-face stuff, which may have booked a couple more, may not have, may have actually made it a little bit worse trying to go through a bit of a sales process on an opening house. You never know, obviously, but we did this, and a lot of people, they don't want to do that. They want a hardcore close and all that inside. And I'm telling you, it's just not the way that people buy. But anyway, so we did the 24 hours, ended up booking 12 memberships out of it, which is great. As far as that, it's 25% close rate. Could have been higher if it was in person. Yeah. But if you go off of real kind of averages, 10% close rates, I mean, it was a great success, but that's not really even the most important thing. And we ended up, so just so you get a perspective on everything that we did, we still just immediately from those 12 memberships that were sold, we did, what was it? 130% direct return. So it was positive right out the gate. And then the thing is that the average lifetime value, so how long somebody stays in this industry, is about 16 months. But let's just say it's 6 months, because it's, it's kind of a brand new business and out there, then you start looking at that. Okay, well, we booked these 12, yes, on direct, that one-time deposit or that one-time payment, and then what you invested in the event, yeah, you're looking at, 120% or whatever it is, return. But we're looking at it as far as what does that mean for the life of the business? Let's just say 6 months is the average lifetime. That's going to result in I'm not good at math, but it's 7, 8, 9 times return on the investment just in that. But that's not even the most important thing. That's just with the small bookings, but that's just thinking very short term. If you come out of that and all you're looking at is how many did I book just from that event, you are going to lose. You're going to lose. That's just, yes, that's nice being able to pay for what was invested in that, plus make some on top of that. Fantastic. But now the most important thing is like at that event, we had a videographer and a photographer. We have people to provide testimonials. We have people that have experienced it to go out and talk about it to their friends and family. Now we've actually got great content of live in action that now we can use on social and in ad campaigns to start driving more and more and more. And so that's where the big return starts to happen. Not only do we have a big push and some excitement around it, not only do we get people booking from this specifically because we thought about everything from making people aware of what's going on to actually booking to actually buying, but now we're building up the database. Now we're actually getting people in. We're actually being able to target better. We're actually able to take the feedback and the momentum and the content and everything that happened to then start building and leveraging that to get more and get more people to become members and to get that excitement up and to build that credibility a lot faster. So that's really what we're looking at. Not just this one thing, but it has created and opened up an avenue across the board for the business. And we're just starting. And this is just in the first 30 days. And our goal is 90-day launch. Like, that's what I think. And then once you get past that first initial 90 days and you're rocking and rolling, things are optimized, typically that's whenever we can take a step back as a full service agency and just let the tools and the resources that we have set up do its thing. And then as you need stuff in the future, you come and we help you put that on, but you only pay for when you need it. And then it's actually going to drive results. And so, that's really where we're at right now. And I'm going to keep, obviously documenting and bringing this stuff to the table. But really, all in all, it's going, like, the returns are already there. It's just going to continue to grow on top of that. And it already is. Like, they're getting bookings outside of just memberships that from people from that. And then people that have heard from that, or they saw it on social, or they were following. So really, really quickly, go check out webconnectiq.com and what that's all about. I'm telling you, my goal is to change the course of small business, local-based businesses, and even if you're a solopreneur, with service, strategies, execution that actually works, that is actually going to help you not continue to be stuck or not continue to stay up late trying to get back to everybody, not continue to try to figure out what you need to be doing now. If you're feeling stuck right now, that's where you may want to come up with some type of an event and a relaunch, so to speak, especially if you have a physical location. And we can help you book that. You come up. It doesn't have to be very expensive, or it can be an event that just promotes a sell that you have. But make it exciting. Get people excited to come in and want to check it out. And then if you can't do it for yourself with running the campaigns, then that's where a team like ours, the agency side, or even if you're on WebConnect IQ and we've got you all set up, we can help walk you through it. Or we can set it up and you can run the ads with a few clicks of a button. So there's options out there, but sometimes whenever you do a relaunch, that will get the excitement and the momentum back up. Just make sure if you're doing the relaunch, you've got to have a good booking strategy. It's got to be easy and seamless, a booking funnel, maybe even a qualifier. You've got to have follow-ups and reminders. You got to have a sales process laid out. Like, how am I going to sell? How then, once I do, for the people that didn't buy, or how do I get them to come back and buy? How do I keep them and keep my business top of brand in front of them? How do I get them to refer? How do I get them to buy more? You need to have all of that laid out and thought about in order to take full advantage of this. How do I document this? Who can I get to do that? If I don't have money, can I get a family member? Can I get a friend to come in and just take pictures and take videos so that then we can leverage that? And how do I leverage all of that? How do I continue to build off of that? You've got to have all of those things thought out and in place. And sometimes you can do that, or sometimes having someone who has a blueprint like we do and can help you with that. We know what works, just help you get it up and running for the most part, which doesn't have to break the bank. And so, anyway, I want to continue documenting this stuff, but my goal is to prove that it's working, so that more people will just start realizing that they need to do business with me and my team. And now that we've even got this, it allows people that normally wouldn't have an opportunity to work and have the resources and have the options and have the service. Like, damn, that's the biggest thing. Help when they need it. We've got it now, and at very affordable. The base programs, less than $200 a month. I mean, and I promise you, you're going to get more than that in return. In fact, I guarantee it. So I don't know if I'm supposed to make guarantees. I know that's being cracked down on. Anyway, this has been long. Hopefully it's been helpful, but reach out if you have any questions. I'm going to continue trying to document this stuff and creating content around it. But anyway, I hope this was valuable.